Is this video for sailing and entertainment purposes only? You're dang skippy it is.
Who's your favorite reaction channel? Somebody asked.
Karina.
I held on to the nurse.
Nurse, clear my schedule.
Obsessed with Karina Kaboom. What's wrong with Karina Kaboom? She's a nice lady.
I was ghosted tonight.
He had one bite of those eggs and he accepted.
Eggs.
What's it like knowing that your Amberlynn's the one that got away? I am not fazed.
Good evening.
What are you doing out here?
Hello everybody. In today's video, for the low introductory price of absolutely nothing, Amberlynn is trashing and going after her ex Becky yet again. You see, it's not enough to blame Becky for you being ill. It's not enough to continuously humiliate Becky on the internet. You will never leave Becky alone. And for those of you wondering, why do I think she's never going to leave Becky alone? First of all, Becky has asked extensively, publicly, and I assume privately, from Amberlynn to stop talking about her. Becky doesn't want to be talked about, but Amber is being really disrespectful, in my personal opinion, and refuses to do this. In my opinion, the reason why Amberlynn will not stop trashing Becky is because, not for everyone, but for a lot of people, when they break up with somebody or they are broken up with, they then want to win out in the end. You know, when it's like, who's going to be miserable and who's going to end up happier than the other person? It's obvious that Becky is beloved by the majority, not everybody, but the majority of the community, and can make a lot of money with the community. People want to donate to Becky. People tune into the live streams, whereas Amberlynn is still single. See, Becky doesn't need to have a new partner in order to be happy, and Amberlynn does. More importantly than that, my opinion is Amber always thought that Becky was beneath her, and she still can't get over that, injury to the ego that somebody who she believed was beneath her broke up with her. So I would say Amberlynn, super desperate, constantly obsessing and trashing your exes. If you truly want to move on, you should probably stop doing this. That's just my opinion. The second part of this video is Foodie Beauty raging for 24 hours and then deleting it.
The thing is, it's the holidays.
Chantal, contrary to what you're saying in your community page post, you are definitely going to Canada to save your career. All right, we're going to get into it, if you could not tell already by this ridiculous intro. As always, everything I'm saying is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm only sharing my own opinions, not facts, and publicly accessible information made public by public figures. I would urge you to please be kind in the comment section to these people. Please do not go out of your way to go to these people's channels and leave them mean-spirited, negative, discouraging, disparaging comments. Okay, so this is Amberlynn Reid's new Instagram Q&A. Worst date you've ever been on. I just would like to remind everybody that Amberlynn chose to pick this question. She did not answer a lot of questions. She answered literally a few. Most of them were pretty boring. She chose this question out of every question that she had because, in my opinion, she knew it was a way to trash and humiliate Becky yet again. She knew that people would be able to tell who this is about because it's very easy to fact check this. I'm going to prove to you in a second. This is about Becky. So what I'm trying to say is she picked this question or asked it herself. She asked a lot of questions herself. That's the community's opinion and mine. Just to trash Becky. She knew that people would be able to find out who this is. It's very easy to fact check on her videos, right? Worst date you've ever been on. Quote, "It was a first date. They barely even looked at me. At the end of the date, they gave me a side hug, told me they had to go home to go to the bathroom, and they burped in my ear."
Feel it? You can feel it, right? You can feel it.
You're probably wondering, Karina, why are you so dumb? No, you're probably wondering, oh my God, why is this about Becky? You're reaching, oh my God. Nope, I'm not. You're welcome. Go to Amberlynn Reid's video titled Our First Time Meeting, Date and Story Time. And here's some screenshots to prove 100% she's talking about Becky. Amber says, our goodbye was this, and you told me you had to go to the bathroom, Becky. And then you gave me a side hug. Becky says, what, are you serious? And yeah, there you go, side hug, and told me you had to go to the bathroom. Screenshots are all here for you. It's 100% about Becky. It's the same story. And keep this in mind, Amber says the worst date she's ever been on was a first date. This video is called Our First Time Meeting. Get it? First date. Story time. So go and check it out if you'd like to watch this video. In it, you will see that it's the same story. So Amber uses the word side hug, which is a very specific statement, side hug. She uses the same word in both stories, in her video version and in her Instagram story. There's the first date option. There's the first date issue. So obviously it's about Becky. By the way, so you're saying the worst date you've ever been on was with Becky. Well, maybe you just had too much onions instead of pineapple. I think that's a good way to categorize your entire relationship with her, right?
I don't do that.
Where, here's a question for Amber. Amberlynn, why did you lie about your relationship with Becky for 4 years? Why did you lie about it and then said you're not sorry for lying to your audience, saying things happened when they didn't? As far as it being a bad date, maybe Becky just needed to use the restroom. And by the way, here's my opinion. Becky wasn't into you. She said that she wasn't looking for a relationship. She told you she wasn't looking for a relationship, and you still kind of forced your way into her home and into the relationship. To be fair, yes, Becky, was an adult and she made her own decision about being with Amber, but Becky has extensively said that she wasn't ready for a relationship and did not want one with Becky. Here's a better question for you, Amberlynn. If your first date with Becky was so bad, why did you go on a second date? Why'd you answer her calls or text or contact her again? I think it's because you were desperate to show your audience and Destiny. Ex-Destiny, the one that got away, that, that's it, that you had a new girly. So if it was so bad, why'd you go back for more? And reaction channels are desperate? 100% this is about Becky. What I'm trying to say is Amber has said the story before. She's told the story before. So she not only wanted to humiliate and monetize the humiliation of Becky for the first time on YouTube, she needed to retell it. Now, I just want to be very clear. Amber has this thing where she's like, oh my God, and being silenced. 200,000 followers, comments enabled, and being silenced. Amber will always say in response to things like this, like, it's her story to tell. She has every right to say that, like what happened between her and Becky, she was in it. You have every right to say whatever you want. And so do I, and so does Becky. This has the absolute same energy as Amberlynn telling everybody how Becky proposed years after they were already broken up. So let me see if I can paint the picture for you in Fair Verona, where we lay our Kermits. Amberlynn was already in a 2-year relationship with ex-wifey, who now also dumped her, but why should that stop us? While Amber was with her girlfriend, wifey, Amberlynn made a monetized YouTube video that got her a lot of money. It got like 80, 90,000 views, in which she wrote how she proposed. This was a video in which she purposely humiliated Becky as to how Becky proposed. Now, I just want to say the story in and of itself is not humiliating. Becky proposed to Amber with an item. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but Amber made sure to tell that story in a certain way, knowing that it would humiliate Becky. The story's not humiliating, but Amber's intention, in my opinion, was to humiliate Becky, okay? She's also accused Becky of being the reason that she didn't get help for her, health and her illness. She has trashed Becky to such a point that this is my opinion. Now, Becky has been pretty gracious about Amberlynn in her live streams, my opinion. She's been very kind. I know that Becky has gone through a very serious ordeal with Amber. I know. And I don't think that she owes us anything. I don't think she has to come on here and spill the tea, because other than spilling the tea about Amber, the reality is that Becky was really hurt. She says that she suffers every day from what Amber did to her. And it's like, when somebody emotionally ABU, SI, you get my point, you in a relationship, like, you don't want to come and talk about it and relive that trauma. I understand that. But I just like to say, Becky, if you ever want to come on and tell us your side about Amber and expose Amber and say certain things about Amber, because what has she not said about you? She's humiliated you for your weight, which I find outrageous, since Amberlynn always says that, it's wrong to, talk about people's looks. She has trashed you while you were her girlfriend for a monetized fee, and after you broke up with her. And even now, she has to say that the worst date she's ever had was with you after all you've done for her. Amberlynn, I find this disgraceful. Drove you around to Walmart and to everywhere while she was in Reno failure. You filmed and edited her an iMovie and made a very large paycheck for her being incoherent due to the wrong medication while on renal failure. I have to say, this will never stop. And my opinion is this, and we're just going to move on because my audience has heard me say many, many times that Amber will never leave Becky alone. The only way this will stop, oh, by the way, remember that fun time when Amberlynn threatened Becky with a lawsuit and said, if you talk about me, I'm going to pretty much get the law involved, even though she will never stop talking about Becky. Yeah. My opinion, I know it may be popular, it may be unpopular. I know the community wants Becky to come and spill the tea. By the way, Becky, if you're out there, sweetheart, December's the month to do it so you can make the most amount of money. But, to each his Kermit. The only way Amberlynn will ever stop harassing and coming after Becky and still talking about her after Becky asked her, please stop talking about me, and pulling these questions on Instagram, making monetized content about Becky, the only way this will ever stop, my opinion, it's just my opinion, you can let me know in the comments down below and in the Kermits down below, is if Becky exposes her. It's the only way. The best way to stop a bully is to give them some of their own medicine.
It's the holidays. It's December.
Good luck, Amberlynn. You will always be obsessed with not the one that got away, because you will be obsessed with Destiny. That's the one that got away. We're about to talk about Destiny next. Could you see where this Q&A is going? But you will always be obsessed with Becky because you truly can't believe that she would rather live with friends, live in a room in her friend's house. She ran away from you and Wifey when you forced her to live with Wifey, a stranger from the internet. You can't believe that she's better off without you. Here's a wild idea. My opinion is, Amber, you're the problem in the relationships. That's my honest opinion. And this is trying to be as fair as possible because I understand that Amber's hurting from her breakups and I wish her all the best with them. I've always said that. Amber, you're the problem in the relationships. That's why these other people are better off. I find it, this is my opinion as a public figure, I find it very disrespectful, aka despectful, as Amberlynn would say, to continuously harass and be petty like this. Oh, my worst date is Becky. Grow up, get a Kermit, put some more onions in your chili and move on. Okay, moving on with this riveting Q&A. Do you and Destiny still talk? I know things are different now, but I loved you two together. Nope, I don't talk to any of my exes. That's right. They blocked her and she talks about them.
Oh, monsters, 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 monsters.
I have some advice for anyone that's listening. If you ever meet anyone at all, and you love them, you like them, they are like the newest, best person you've ever met, you really want to get into a relationship with them or you want to do whatever with them. If they are talking about their ex, this is a huge number one red flag to get out of it, because people should be able to common sense control themselves and not discuss their ex. Now, I'm not talking about if you meet somebody and, they have a family with somebody else, like they have children with somebody else and they have to, see their kids and coordinate. I'm not talking about that. That's different. I don't mean like if somebody says, I have an ex-wife, I have an ex-husband, I have an ex-whoever, we have kids, I have to go see. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a person just constantly bringing up their ex. The reason that I always say that Amberlynn is, massively talking people out of dating her is because she is obsessed with all of her exes in different ways. She wants Wifey back and she's sad they're not together and she's not, getting driven to Target, single, ready to mingle, ready to be taken to Target. She's angry and obsessed with Becky, that Becky is mainly beloved and is doing better without her and left her. She's obsessed with Destiny because Destiny's the one that got away. I would never think it's an okay thing to do, and I highly advise everybody here, if you're single or whatever, please don't date people that are obsessed with their exes. Common sense alone tells you to never ever mention your ex with, like, unless you have like certain circumstances, like, children with them, but like, there's no reason to be obsessed with the ex. What I'm trying to get at is this. When someone is talking to you about their ex, they're disrespecting you. Again, I don't mean like if they have a family with them. They're an ex for a reason. Why are you, talking to me about your ex? This is like the biggest no-no. It means that they're still thinking about them. People talk about what they think about. If you get nothing else from my channel, remember that. People talk about what they think about. And they're thinking about that person. They're not over that person. Amberlynn, you will never be over Destiny, which is why when you were with Wifey, you called in, long-time listener, first-time caller. You called in to her live stream and stayed on the phone with her for an hour with Destiny, even after you found out that she had supposedly not told you. The phone conversation ended and you weren't live, and then you were saying whatever you wanted, but you were live, right? This is obsession with exes. The next statement she makes is this. Ever think about doing a podcast? I do, but I'd want to have a podcast with someone. I wouldn't want it to be just me. In another Q&A, she said she wants it to be with Destiny. Having main character energy. Yeah, you don't have it. Like, here's the thing. One of the reasons that I also think that she didn't do Vlogmas, and there's a few, is because she can't. She cannot put on a show without other characters. The reality is that, she always likes to say, like, no, I don't need other people to make videos. And it was always the Amberlynn Reid channel. If you go back to the very beginning, she was with Crystal. She made videos about the relationship and what she was doing with Crystal. Then, okay, single era for 5 seconds. Then she was with Destiny. Single era for 5 seconds, Becky. Single era for 5 seconds, and Wifey. The point of the story is, even when Wifey wasn't on, the actual channel, she wasn't showing her face, she was still interacting with her. Amber cannot hold the show herself. She can't pull it together herself because she needs another person. And I don't really care about that. I just have to say, because I'm just going through the Q&As, I really have to say, I cannot believe that you are not embarrassed to talk about your exes all the time. I don't even know what to say. Any potential future wifey, Amberlynn Reid is obsessed with her exes. She will talk about her exes to you all the time. She will obsess over them on the internet. She purposely picks questions about Destiny and Becky because it's what she thinks about. People talk about what they think about. She could pick any question in the world. Let's finish off not strong with this. Well, you get yourself some Christmas presents and advent calendars. I might get myself a Christmas present. Yes. Yeah, you deserve it. Okay. Well, that was a wonderful Q&A. She's still obsessing and being disrespectful towards Becky. Rinse, lather, delusion, Kermit, repeat. Let me know what you think about this. This will never end until Becky exposes her. Just my opinion. She needs a dose of her own medicine. My opinion. All right. Let's just move right along to Foodie Beauty Rage Fest. Okay, everything I'm going to show you right now, Foodie Beauty deleted. I'm not showing you every single community page post because some of them are just like too much, but these are the relevant portions. So this is all deleted. This is Foodie Beauty's community page posts. Why are you creeps stalking my family's social media and making content out of it? Can you kindly... I have notified my family to make all of their social media private. Here's a good question. Why has your family not made their social media private by now? So just so we're clear, Chantal has said before that her family is aware of her online presence, what she does for a living and all that stuff. And this has happened before. People have used their social media posts and their names and all that other stuff before publicly. It's just not worth it. Plus, here's a wild idea. Why not make your social media private? I mean, it's really weird, right? So the majority of people's social media who are not attached to Chantal, a lot of people's social media is private, but your family's is not. When you said that they know the tea, that they know the situation that you're in. Okay. So I'm sorry, my personal opinion is anyone that doesn't make their social media private and then complains that people see their stuff, they're not complaining per se, but you are, so take responsibility. They need to take responsibility for having public social media. Here's a wild idea. If you have public social media, that means that you want people to see what you're saying. If you have private social media, that means you only have like your friends seeing what you're saying. And also there's like other things that you could do. Like you don't have to let every one of your friends see your social media. You know what I think about social media? I think it's ridiculous. If you don't want anyone seeing your stuff, don't say it. Don't have social media, okay? It's just wild. Like, I'm going to have social media. This is just my rant on social media. But, like, I won't show all the random people what I'm saying. I'll show some of my friends. How about you just go eat Amber's chili and just move on? To the ones making content using their social media, you are bored and gross and obsessed. Get a life. Log off. I'm also taking a break from YouTube. I am not in Canada yet, and you won't know because I'm not making content for a while. I'm not going to Canada for content for Girl World. I'm going to get help and deal with other things. YouTube seriously needs to obliterate Girl World.
YouTube seriously needs to obliterate Girl World.
I think you should rename Gore World Chantalverse, because who else is in Gore World? Like, does anyone even still talk about Amberlynn?
Right. Didn't you say you were the queen of Girl World? Just handle what she's talking about. I have seen the video in question. Somebody made a video giving their opinions and speculations on some of Chantal's family's like social media posts that were public. And they were trying to say, like, is Foodie Beauty in Canada? Is she not? The first thing I want to say is, Chantal, you say that you don't watch reaction channels. You say that you have no idea what's going on, right? And you say that you watch all the reaction channel drama on somebody else's channel. Whether you watch it on somebody else's channel who talks about it or you seek it out yourself, everyone here knows that you are beyond obsessed, in my personal opinion, with videos about yourself that are being made.
You know, I have a lot of haters, and I really want to prove them wrong. They're all I think about all day.
The person that made this video, you know, it's not like they have millions of subscribers. Chantal is seeking out content about herself. How do you know this? The person makes a video, immediately Chantal knows. It's because Chantal, in my opinion, is sitting around and obsessing over her haters. You know, in that little joke video where she was lying about like whatever, like the doctor and bribing the doctor with deviled eggs. I already said this. There's always a kernel of truth in everything that you're saying. She said she's obsessed with her haters. She said that she's sitting around obsessing about them every day, and it's all that she thinks about. It's true. You're not going to make me believe that a person releases a small little video about you, and this is not a person that you're following every day, I doubt. This isn't like somebody with millions of subscribers. You immediately saw the video and know what's going on. Your family should have made their social media private. Like I said before, everyone that I know, their social media is private. No one owes you anything. No one on the internet owes you anything. If you're posting, here's a wild idea, Chantal, I suspect you know this. If you, as a human being, and I don't mean Chantal, I mean everybody, whatever you post on the internet publicly can and will be talked about. It can be used against you. It can be used for you. Don't post stuff on the internet if you don't want people to talk about it publicly. Oh, and by the way, this whole idea of private social media, you never know who you're friends with and what they'll share. So if you really want to be private about your life, don't say anything about it on the internet. That like it's wild to me that people are like, this was private, this was public. Yeah, like I remember when like Amberlynn and Becky had like people join their Facebook and supposedly they were friends, but they told all the haters that they were engaged. Please, there is no such thing as privacy on the internet. Everybody should know that by now. If you don't want somebody to know your private business, don't ever write it on the internet. Okay, so obviously my opinion is Chantal is obsessed with her haters. She's obsessed with everybody that talks about her because, like I said, somebody makes a small video about her, she immediately knows about it. No, you're not watching it on somebody else's channel. You're stalking out your name. You got nothing else to do. Okay, just my opinion. As far as you taking a break from YouTube, you won't. She says this is laughable. She says this all the time. It's literally a joke. She's not going to take a break from YouTube because she has nothing else in her life other than YouTube, and it's her job. As far as you not going to Canada for content for Girl World, yes, you are. The only way people will watch you if you do live streams without your husband. Your arc with your husband, whether he's fake or not, is boring. Nobody's interested in that. People want you to bees by yourself. They want you to go live by yourself. That's why you made $20,000 a month. You no longer do make this money because you did it to yourself. You started putting out boring, uninteresting content people not interested in. As far as you are going to Canada to, get help. I personally, my opinion, I called it with Amberlynn and some people didn't believe me and I was proven right. Chantal is probably never going to get weight loss surgery. She's not. I think that she is, much like Amberlynn, content in her life. Let's just move right along. Okay, the next community page post is about FFG, French Fry Girl. 8 court cases in a few years for not paying rent. All of these screenshots are the names of court cases brought upon FFG. And this person has the nerve to make hundreds of videos talking about my finances and how I owe thousands of dollars, etc., etc. You do owe thousands of dollars. You have explained to your audience that you did not pay taxes in Canada. You owe a lot of money. You've also yourself discussed your bankruptcies. So, what she says about you owing money is true. I don't know about her personal life. And the thing is, I don't care because she's a commentary reaction channel. There's this thing that happens with, just in general, social media, public figures, where, like, if somebody is a commentator, people always want to, like, find out, like, the dirt, like, all this tea on the commentators. And even if I don't know anything about FFG's personal life, I don't care. Because she's a commentator, okay? Foodie Beauty has posted all of these public things, and she's upset that people are talking about it. Again, like I just recently said, if you don't want people talking about your private life, don't put it on the internet, okay? This is not hypocrisy and production. I don't know what is. Also, you spent a couple of years talking more blank and building your channel on me supporting blank. Looks like you and your blank were both bums and not paying rent, whatever, you went together. Again, projection. Well, I know one thing about Foodie Beauty. I don't know anything about FFG because I just don't. I haven't seen a bunch of videos where she tells her private personal details all the time. I know that as of what it stands today, Foodie Beauty is not able to get an apartment from what she has said. Maybe things have changed, but I doubt it. She has said, she cannot get an apartment in her name because of all of her financial problems, which is why the villa was in Pete's name. Here's another question to you, Chantal. If FFG is such a nemesis to you, why have you never taken action against her? And that's a rhetorical question. Here's my opinion on the answer. In my opinion, you need FFG. She is the number one person who is keeping you relevant by talking about you all the time. Foodie Beauty needs FFG to be relevant, just like Amberlynn needs reaction channels to be relevant. Okay, one more community page post. When Foodie Beauty made that ridiculous parody video, she never said it was a parody video, and I have said extensively, it is a bad idea to say the things that people believe about you if it's not true. She had said that she had lied about a wage. She said that she bribed some doctor, and then here's the community page post about that. I hate that I even have to make this post, but here we are. I did not lie about my weigh-in for those who did not grasp the concept of sarcasm. I never once lied about a weigh-in, ever, and I will never hide from my true weight. Why would the doctor accept a bribe or put me on a scale beyond? You said that he did. That's the problem. The problem with little jokes and parodies is you said everything that a lot of people believe about you, and then you also said things that people suspect about you. And I will tell you that people, when they do not like a public figure, they always want to believe the worst. That's what I have learned over the years. And the people that do not care for your behavior want to believe this. And you went and you told them exactly what they believe anyways. You should have never made that parody video. And if for some unknown reason you really wanted to make it, you should have clearly stated in the video, this is parody, this is sarcasm. And by the way, I wouldn't even call it sarcasm, because sarcasm is usually easily detected. I knew that she was doing a parody video simply because she would never admit to anything truthful. Anyways, rinse, lather, delusion, Kermit, repeat. Everything I just read to you has been deleted. Chantal, when you go to Canada, my advice is make some content. It's the only way to make money. No one is interested in your not being like you used to be. The thing is with YouTube, and I'll leave you with this, okay? The way YouTube is set up is that people know what each channel is doing. And, you can be. I'm not trying to say you cannot be successful when you change your topics. I have. But what I will say is that people tend to want the same thing, meaning if I make a channel about fishing, people are still going to want drama, right? I make a Kermit channel, well, Kermits are drama, but you know what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day with Chantal, people want her to bees, they want her to go they want her to go, you know, and just like have fun in Canada like she did before. People are not interested in this fake marriage arc, please. Anyways, rinse, lather, delusion, Kermit, repeat. That's all I had to say about this topic. I wish everyone mentioned today all the best. Let me know what you think, thoughts, comments, Kermits. Leave them in the dislikes down below. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate being here. If you enjoyed today's video, please check out this video that's popping up here. You may enjoy it. You may not enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, go make your voice heard. Dislike the video. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. See you next time. Bye. What's your name? Fred? Do you know Amberlynn Reid? Do not try to come up to me and attack. Hey. Look, all of Amberlynn's fans. Hey, don't attack. Do not attack. You threw nuts at me? Excuse me, sir. You watch YouTube? You monetized? Under the new guidelines? Excuse me. Excuse me, do not try to attack just because I'm asking you about Amberlynn Reid. Sir. Ah, you've been watching Foodie Beauty. Look at this guy. Excuse me, I'm going to expose you on YouTube so bad. Look at him. He's been exposed. He's been exposed for requesting mukbangs. It's okay. Excuse me, have you been asking Amberlynn out on dates and then catfishing her and then ghosting her? This is the squirrel that ghosted Amberlynn. See? See? Come right up to me. Come right up to me and admit it. Step right up and admit you ghosted Amberlynn. You ghosted Amberlynn. Look at this. Ghosting Amberlynn right in front of our eyes. Oh, maybe it was you that ghosted Amber.